It's Sunday, May 3rd, and that means it's time for Formula One Foods. That's where on race weekends I make Formula One themed Sunday dinners that are inspired by the location where the race is being held. And this week we're in Miami. Yes, I'm wearing purple to be ironic. I don't know why. Check out my last video. So as you know, the U.S. is divided up into 50 states, and of those 50 states, each one has a sort of own culture, its own personality. So within any state, there are subcultures, and there is certainly a huge subculture in Miami due to its large Cuban-American population. Dinner for my family tonight would be Cuban sandwiches. Are actually a specialty in Miami, and the other thing I'm going to make for dessert is key lime pie. A Cuban sandwich is basically a pressed sandwich with marinated roasted pork, ham, Swiss cheese, mustard, and pickles. It's so delicious. I have had them many times in restaurants or from bodegas in the area, but I have never made them myself because I've always been afraid to make the pork. But I marinated the pork overnight, and I'm real excited to have that tonight. So like I said, I made the marinade last night. I found a recipe for a mojo marinade, which is basically orange juice, lemons, limes, and a whole lot of seasoning. So that's been in the refrigerator marinating since last night on a piece of unmalted pork. You start with the key lime pie because that's got to set till later. It's early in the morning. It's like 9 o'clock. So I'm going to make this, go out for the day with my mom, and then come back and we'll assemble the sandwiches and eat the pie. I'm adding melted butter to brown sugar and graham cracker. All right, so let's talk about the sprint race while I make this pie crust. Graham cracker crumbs with the butter and the sugar in the pie pan, and I'm basically going to press this down. So the race wasn't super eventful. I mean, it was not a lot changed from qualifying. McLaren's came in this weekend with a big upgrade, and it really paid off because they finished 1-2 in the sprint. Even though they didn't do so well in qualifying for the race, they did gain some points in that sprint, which they really, really needed. So Kimi had another bad start, and that put him eventually into 4th place, and after his penalty for track limits, he ended up in 6th place behind Russell and Max. So middle of the race, Max and Lewis had a couple of little scraps going on. They actually did touch wheels at one point. But Max ended in 6th, which then later became 5th after Kimi got bumped down, and then Lewis ended up in 7th. Then we had Pierre Gasly getting the last point of the sprint. As far as the midfield goes, or I guess the back of the field goes, both Astons finished, both Cadillacs finished, both Audis were out, Nico in the beginning and Gabby later on in the race. Seeing the McLarens back on top suggests that those upgrades are going to do something really good for them, and maybe Mercedes domination is not as dominant as we thought it would be. All right, now for the pie filling. Basically, it's pretty easy. I'm going to put 1.5 cups of sweetened condensed milk, 4 egg yolks, 1/2 cup of key lime juice, some lime zest. I'm going to dump this in. Am I the only one who remembers this song from the Golden Girls called Miami, where Rose creates like a jingle for this contest, and it's like, it goes like this? I'm going to play it for you while I fast forward.
Miami, Miami, you've got style. Blue sky, sunshine, white sand by the mile.
This is still in 2 hours away, and I'm going to put this pie together. So let's just quickly talk about qualifying. Mercedes back on top, right? Antonelli back in 1st. Super happy about that. I'm sure Russell's not so happy because he's down in 5th. McLaren came in strong with the upgrades in sprint, but they did not do so hot in qualifying with Norris in 4th and Piastri way down in 7th. Max was pretty happy though because he's back up in 2nd. I know he wants to be in 1st, but 2nd place is not too bad considering where they've been. Not as great for Hajar, who was all the way down in 9th, but both Alpines in the top 10. So looking to be an interesting race. There's supposed to be some rain. That's why they made it an hour earlier. So hopefully, you never want anybody to get hurt, but you always love that drama when the rain comes. All right, time to put this in the oven. Then it's got to come out cool and chill, and then wait until dinner time and the rest of us. So, see you later. I forgot to mention Ferrari. So Charles in 3rd and Lewis in 6th. So they had some upgrades too, and looks like everybody's been doing the work over the last 5 weeks. All right, so the key lime pie has been in the refrigerator for a few hours, and honestly, it's not looking so good. It's very, very loose. All right, so we got the grid walk on in the background here, and I'm about to put the pork in the oven so that we can watch the beginning of the race while this thing cooks. Well, the pork looks and smells delicious. Well, that was an exciting race. We had action at the beginning. We had a crash where Gasly didn't get hurt, and we had action at the end. Kimi had a bad start, but he had a great finish. It was really looking good for Leclerc in the beginning. when he passed everybody to take first place. But then Kimi made his way back up, and there was a lot of that pass and repass action that we're seeing this season. And it just makes it so exciting, doesn't it? Then we get to lap 6. Oh my God. 2 unrelated crashes. First, we see Hajar go into the wall, and oh my God, was he devastated. Look at this footage. Then we see that something's going on with Gasly and Lawson, and all of a sudden they show us that footage of Lawson hitting Gasly and Gasly flipping over. Thank God they were both okay. While all that was happening, Lando's engineer is telling him, just let Kimi and Charles go back and forth and do their yo-yo thing, and then you can sneak in there, which is exactly what he did. He Right before the crashes, he moved his way in, got right into second place. During the yellow flag, Max decides to pit. He's the only one who pits. He goes onto those hard tires that last him pretty much to the rest of the race. Tumbled down into 16th place after he came back out of that stop. But then we watched him creep up, boop, 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 all the way up to like 6th place before everyone else pit. Mind you, by the end, his tires were weak and giving out. And so by lap 47, his tires are pretty much shot, and so he and Leclerc go at it in the pass repass. But then a couple of laps later, Leclerc spins out. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Max spun out in the very beginning. But while all this is happening in the last few laps, Piastri is creeping his way up, and we're watching him catch up little by little, knocking down the seconds between him and Charles. All that goes down. Russell's sneaking up behind him, but Piastri holds it, so we end up with a McLaren 2-3, which now Kimi keeps his first place. Lando now moves into 4th in the overall championship. And our boy Oscar is now in 7th. And also, both Williams ended up in the points. So I know those boys were happy. They've been having a tough season. So at the end of the day, it looks like the tweaks that they made to the regulations have done what they were intended to do. They kept the action of the pass repass, and they still kept the challenge of managing the energy, but it allows them still to go full out in qualifying, and it reduces the effect of clipping, super clipping. Who's got it? Kimi's got 100 points? Oh, Kimi's got 100 points, and Oscar's 6th in the championship. This pork is out of this world. All right, it's time to assemble the cubanos. All right, so we're going to do mustard, cheese, ham, pickles, pork. All right, so I'm buttering the outside of the bread and pressing it down. All right, there it is. All right, here we go. First taste. I think it came out really good, just like a restaurant. Say that again?
It's absolutely delicious, and I think it's better than the restaurant.
Woohoo! Mima likes it. Mima, what'd you think of the race?
Oh, I loved it.
Well, it looks like I made key lime soup instead of key lime pie. Apparently, I used sweetened condensed coconut milk instead of regular milk, and I didn't make other adjustments, so womp, womp, womp. It's not stopping us from eating it, though. It tastes pretty. Clearly, my family was not offended by the liquidy key lime pie. And we also had some other desserts, too. So there you have it. It was a successful Miami Grand Prix and a successful Formula One Foods Miami Grand Prix dinner. Well, I mean, successful if you're not a Ferrari fan.